someone in the Vision on that team is gonna face Cody for the belt at the Rumble, and they're gonna set it up at War
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Wrestling is Now Shitty podcast. I am one of your co-hosts with a PhD in Wrestleology, Dr. Legend, joined as always by the best flavor of Mountain Dew, Midnight.
I tell all you jabronis out there, welcome to the podcast. Today, we humble algorithm and we suplex a jabroni internet and put it in the camel clutch.
How's it going, buddy? You watch some good wrestling this week? Or is it all shitty?
Man, I gotta say, I watched one of the best episodes of Monday Night Raw I had seen in a long time. That was an amazing 2.5 hours that I watched.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the Cena thing, Madison Square Garden, or a combination of it, but like, I mean, if they're gonna go big on episodes of Raw, they picked the right place and time, and I think that was good. I will say though, I know these aren't highlights on the show, but I do want to bring up a few things. So yeah, last week we were talking about Joe Hendry being a part of the tournament, and while he wasn't in it, I did watch his match on Gold Rush, the NXT show. He was on first, and it really feels like they were. I don't know. Did you see that match at all? Did you watch Gold Rush?
I did not catch Gold Rush.
Oh, okay. So realistically, it looked like they were just using Joe Hendry as a vehicle to push Thea Hale because she was doing most of the offense. Joe was in there for a few high spots to look good, to smile and get the crowd popping. They were chanting for him. They really loved Joe Hendry there in New York. They were really pushing for him. But he didn't get any of the big moments, and he did not eat the pin. So it looks like he was just there as a vehicle because he's already like on the 1 foot out the door of NXT. He's on to bigger and better things, hopefully soon, but we'll see. Another thing I want to talk about is our boy El Grande Americano. Uh, People keep saying that they love what Ludwig Kaiser is doing with the character, and yet he's a jobber now. He was wrestling on fucking Speed, and now he's on NXT now, doing promos and stuff like that. Chad Gable would never have lowered himself in that character to do stuff like that. Yeah, he's still over in AAA, which is cool, that's fun. But on American TV, he's like a second thought, which is a damn shame. But fortunately, did you know Chad Gable has been in the Performance Center training, getting back into ring shape because he's probably making a return soon.
Well, that's interesting. That is really interesting.
I wonder if they're going to do the Spider-Man thing with El Grande Americano, do the doink thing where both of them come out and they do the swap. I want to see a ref kind of go like the height thing where he kind of measures up and down. Like, no. Yeah, but that's the minor stuff this week in wrestling. Let's get on to our big event here. Let's turn on that Boomertron. And yeah, we were highlighting it, but John Cena got a championship reception in Madison Square Garden for his last event there, a packed, sold out crowd. And usually MSG is pretty polarizing because when you go to the East Coast, they like to heckle. There are a couple of huckleberries over there. They like to cheer and boo. But I think, like we had mentioned before, John Cena is on his way out, and the 20 to 30-year-olds in this crowd in attendance here, they're the ones that were watching him when they were like 9, 10, 11 years old. So they adore this man. They want to send him off high. He got a good reception, and you know, it was fun to watch. You know, again, not a big Cena fan, but I like that he's still going out on top. I will say though, if you're going to compare final runs in the company, I would not rank Cena's very high, and we'll get into that later. I think still Ric Flair's is the GOAT. They made it a beautiful story where, like, the next time you lose, you're gone. So every match he wrestled, you were on like pins and needles,
Something.
like, oh my God, like what's happening here? And this whole run just was kind of haphazardly thrown together. But it's nice that we're running to the end. We're seeing some good moments, and he's getting a big pop. One thing I have to mention, people were a little salty about this. Did you hear about this? Some people were mad that his last match in MSG was a 6-man tag. Like,
They were, well, I mean, they just want to watch him wrestle. Like, I mean, really, just what did they want? They wanted a world title match, main event, 30-minute Broadway. No,
no, I think John Cena's final match in Madison Square Garden was great. It was a lot of fun. It was a fantastic opener. I loved Sheamus and Ray teaming up with him. They did some wonderful spots in there. They had a lot of fun. They got the crowd moving, and that's what they should do for an opening match. And it was just great. And one thing I am kind of meh about is them pushing the Dom storyline, because now he's going to wrestle him at Survivor Series. Like, I don't want to see it again. I don't know why they're doing this. Like, predictions. What do you think? They're going to take the strap off John? He's going to run all the way until the last time is now turning.
I think they have to take the strap off of him because I think his last match, there shouldn't really be a belt on the line. I think that it's just too like you're ending John Cena's career. You don't need a belt on top of it. And I don't know. I think they just gave him the belt just so they can kind of put a footnote that he was a Grand Slam champion because he had never been the Intercontinental champion. So yeah, they should probably just take the belt off of him. Probably I think they'll probably do it. I think they'll probably do it at Survivor Series.
Oh, I 100% agree. And I think it would be to Dominic's benefit to do so, because now that little shit can go about saying
Yeah.
he beat John Cena. Like, no matter
Yeah,
how
he
he
was.
does it, because you know it's not happening clean. I would love to see, God, if El Grande Americano was in a better position, could you imagine him coming in there doing a diving headbutt on him with the metal plate before Dom does the frog splash? And boom,
Yeah.
they put two guys over at the same time while relinquishing the belt. Um, it's such shitty to see what they've done to El Grande Americano, because the story writes itself. And it's easy. They're even tagging guy at the time of we're recording this. Dom and El Grande Americano went over against Dragon Lee and someone else over at AAA, that show that's going on right now. So at least they're pushing him there, and he's not eating fucking pins on Speed or whatever crappy show they're running on Sundays. But overall, what do you think about MSG and Cena?
I really like the fact that the crowd was into it. I think they were just once again. I think this was more respect, and I feel like they just wanted to see him one last time, and they knew it was the last time. So like we got to make this memorable. We got to make it a happy moment. I think they everyone wanted to leave happy, and you knew John was going to pump the crowd up, which he did. You knew his match was going to tear the house down, which it did. I mean, they did all the right things in the match to make it so the crowd was having a good time. And that's what you see, and that's what people don't get about wrestling is people pay a lot of money. They get in their cars and they go to an arena that they don't want to go to, and they sit in a chair that they don't want to sit in next to people they don't really want to sit next to, and they eat food that they really don't want to eat just so they could watch you for 10 minutes and wrestle. If you're going to do that, if you can make them forget about all that and they're happy, you've done your job as a wrestler. You know, your job isn't to do artistic gymnastic stuff. It's to get people happy. It's to make people feel like they got their money's worth. And uh, MSG got their money's worth. And John Cena is, in my opinion, the main reason why they got their money's worth that night.
Yeah, I complained about high spot matches that you usually during the slow segments you could hear a pin drop and like the wrestlers breathing because they're just waiting for the big spots to happen. That wasn't happening in this match. It was nothing but love, a lot of oohs and ahs. It was Attitude Era esque with how into it the fans were, which was good. The guys were selling well. They were doing their job. It was a properly structured, fun 6-man tag match. I don't think you could have asked for anything better, and I think John got a proper send off. But speaking about poor matches, this happened yesterday on SmackDown. I know we gave AEW shit about not selling moves, and I will contest that 90% of their fucking locker room is guilty of this shit. But I will not deny that WWE wrestlers have a problem with it, and the IWC's newest golden boy, Ilya Dragunov, and JD McDonough are doing this bullshit and it doesn't belong. Okay, I don't like. I'm going to play the clip here. Probably get demonetized, but you guys can watch it on their channel.
Dragunov looking to continue his win streak. Top rope now for both men. Dragunov shooting delivered, and now Dragunov. McDonough's got 2 fistfuls of the champion's hair. And McDonough going to turn things around now. Brainbuster! With a brainbuster.
Okay, let's break this down here. The motherfucker eats a superplex and no-sells it. And then, after taking the superplex, turns it immediately into a motherfucking brainbuster. Like, this is the bullshit I'm talking about here. I do not want to watch teenagers or children. I don't want to watch children playing with action figures in my ring. Okay? They're just bouncing from spot to spot. Ooh, you did a move. It's my turn. I get to do a move. People gave Hogan shit for years for no selling all the fucking time. And then when these assholes do it, they get praised? What the fuck?
This is the superplex. Like, Brett used to make this move his like knockout move, where if he did it, both guys were down and out for a while, and it was one of those big, like, whoa, superplex, they're both down, who's gonna get up? And they're down for the count, and they are just spitting all over wrestling in general with this crap. I mean, this is crap. This is crap wrestling. It's not real. People say it's fake. This crap right here is fake.
And guys, we understand it's fake in the same sense that movies are fake. Now, let me ask this. Compare this scene, or compare the fight scene in the movie They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper, that bullshit fucking fight scene, to the fight scene in GoldenEye where Alec Trevelyan and James Bond fight inside the satellite. It is the most gritty, dirty, realistic portrayal of a fight I've ever seen in movies. It's great. They're not waiting for punches. They're not trading blows back and forth. It is like a gut throat, fucking hungry ass battle between them. They're digging and clawing and they want to beat the shit out of each other. This is fucking child's play, and this shit should not be tolerated. People are swooning over Dragunov. Oh, he's so good. He's the best. Yeah, he's talented. I'll give him that. It's fun to see him do these moves, but they are killing the psychology of the business. This shit right here is just wrong. It's absolutely wrong, and I don't like watching it. I can't get behind these guys when they do stuff like this. Now, instead of me seeing Dragunov going, oh, cool, we're going to see a fun match here, I'm going to see, oh, God, these guys are just going to bounce from spot to spot until fucking Dragunov punches in the face and molests them for the pin. You see that pin he does where he fucking just molests them and puts his head, like, they go neck to neck? Oh, it's gross. Who okayed this shit?
It's like what AJ Styles said that Vince said to him, because he went out there and had like an AJ Styles match, and then Vince is like, "What are you doing? I got 1,000 guys that can do all that kind of stuff." Same thing with JD McDonough. It's like, and Dragunov. It's like guys like the athletic worker is no longer like the rare treat or car crash on professional wrestling. Everyone now is a dime a dozen athletic worker, and we don't need, if you're gonna be that way, do something different. Like, honestly, if you show me these two guys and I don't know wrestling and you don't show me a date, I'm like, what is this, TNA 2005? Like, sorry, like, we have 20 years later, we still haven't evolved.
Yeah, I know I'm giving Dragunov shit for this, despite JD being the one that no-sells it, but they're both in the ring. Dragunov is the one calling the match, so he's the one that okayed this shit to go on. He's the one that wanted it. So guess what? I'm gonna give it my fucking stamp right here that I started last week. Come to the fucking screen, everybody. Next time you take a goddamn superplex off the top rope, sell the fucking move. Please
stay down, act like you've been knocked out, or like act like your back just got broken or something, right? Like,
please make this. This is supposed to be an art. and you guys are turning it into a joke. It's
Remember this?
gross.
Remember the superplex that Brett gave Owen at SummerSlam '94?
Oh, it was off the top of the cage. I was like, oh my god, people say
they
they
were
can't
like an
watch
hour.
old wrestling now. Like, oh, I can't watch it now. You don't know why? Because you're used to watching this jungle gym acrobatic Circus Soleil crap that they present you today. This high speed finishers don't matter because they kick out of them 40 times, and this crap that just keeps selling and you keep buying it because that's the only product that they're offering. Like, if I took a dump on a bunch of raspberries and go, here you go, here's your food, are you gonna be like, okay, I'll just eat around the raspberries, but they're still sweet, you know, a little crap on them, it's not bad, they're still raspberries, right? Good God, please, guys, stop this. The only way it's gonna stop is if people call this stuff out and start booing it during the match. Like if, but we won't get that because the crowd just eats everything up. And again, this is one of those matches when they were moving from this low spots back and forth. It was just fucking silence, hard to watch, and these guys went over 10 minutes. Like I couldn't do it.
Well, the problem is that the next time they come to this town, they may not draw as much.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? You know, like I said, the bloom was off the Stephanie Vakir rose because, hey, she's interesting. She's fun to watch in the ring, but her character doesn't mean shit because she has none. You know, same thing could happen here. People ask, I wonder, oh, why does the IWC turn on wrestlers so much just because they get popular? Like, no, they turn. There's a valid fucking reason when you shoot a guy to the moon who doesn't deserve it yet. They get blasted up there because you don't give them enough build. You don't get, like, again, this no selling stuff is the fucking antithesis of it because they're not building anything. You don't build to moves and you don't build up wrestlers. You don't build them up properly. I think if Stephanie Vakir waited until the Rumble to win the Rumble and then got there, went to WrestleMania, she would have been a huge star. People would have been behind her 100%. And now she gets no fucking pop in her entrances and she just exists for her one fucking move that everybody waits for, which is sad because she's got talent. And I know we're being kind of nasty now, but someone who wasn't nasty this week, Tony Khan, was a big sweetheart when he didn't have to be. And we're going to play this clip here for you guys.
He went out there and it was very clear he wasn't going to say anything bad about anyone, and he was given the chance. I mean, there's people who do nothing but say bad stuff about him, and he wouldn't even say bad stuff about them.
Well, I will say the one thing is when it comes to Andrade, I mean, he did not throw WWE under the bus. Like, you know, they told this guy that they didn't care, and then we used him, and then turned out he did not indicate that they were screwing with him there. If anything, he indicated that maybe Andrade misrepresented himself. So that was kind of interesting.
Oh, well, he didn't say that either, but obviously that's the case. You know, it's like he ain't putting a guy on TV and shooting an angle with him and Kenny Omega without the belief that the guy was a free agent, and obviously the guy represented himself that he's free and clear, which he did to everybody. I mean, it's not just Tony. You know, other people had to drop using him too. So he, you know, clearly that's what happened. It's, you know, in WWE, you know, and maybe it was a misunderstanding with him. I mean, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but that's a hard one. You know what I mean? To be that wrong. He went out there and it was very clear he wasn't.
So that was an interesting interview. I know this Andrade situation is still kind of odd. I will say, though, I find it weird that of all the guys, he gets hit with the 1 year no compete clause. Like, I don't think anybody in the WWE ever had that shit. But you know, Tony better than I do. Why don't you take this apart for us?
So Tony Khan spent about an hour and 20 minutes with Ariel Helwani, and the first thing obviously is that they had a very contentious interview, maybe a month or two after the CM Punk brawl out incident, and he came on and was very open to answer every question. He was very, I guess, you know, political with some of his answers, especially about CM Punk. He didn't. The only thing he said was, you know, I wish it didn't turn out that way. We just couldn't make it work. And he was just very, you know, very gracious and very nice, and he spent most of his time selling his product. It just felt like the interview was an opportunity for him to sell, pay-per-views and tickets to his shows, which I understand. The problem is that this was actually a golden opportunity for him to get some quotables, and what he could have said was, we fired CM Punk because he assaulted a wrestler. He assaulted another wrestler, and we're not going to tolerate people that can't control. I mean, he could have he could have given himself a little bit of an edge. And I think that's what he needs. If he really wants to be the face of the company, he can't just be this nice guy in a suit and tie with glasses. No one's going to respect. Look at Dana White. Dana White, shaved head, steroids, big muscles, talking all this crap. The dude's a freaking pussy in real life. But with a microphone, he sounds hella tough and sells the UFC just with his persona and being edgy and saying nasty things. And Tony Khan's the owner. He's the owner of the company. He's the number one guy. And Vince McMahon, when he would go on interviews, if he didn't like somebody, he made sure they knew that he didn't like somebody. I mean, he almost he'd stick his finger in Bob Costas's face and say, "You want to shut your mouth and let me finish?" And
Do you
here's Tony
think?
Khan.
Do you think Tony Khan deliberately played the nice guy role because he does not want to incur the wrath of TKO and WWE, knowing what they could potentially do to him and his organization?
I think that he was being a nice guy because he just wants to be liked and wants his promotion to do well. I don't know if he really cares what TKO does, because you have to understand he's not TNA or Paul Heyman. He's a very wealthy person. Um, so I don't
Hey,
think he's afraid of their wrath per se. I think it's a lot more of just, please like me and like my wrestling because we're nice and we put on good shows and we're so fun and you're gonna love AEW. Came off to me like a little pussy. Like, don't be. He was. Don't be a pussy. Go. You know what? This is where the best wrestle. Okay, we put on the best matches, and we had to fire that punk CM Punk for being a punk, and we don't care, and he's gone, and we're better without. I mean, could you imagine what would we be talking about right now if he had said that? We'd be talking about him first. We've been talking about John Cena. We've been talking about Tony Khan talking all this crap,
do you
and then
think he
everyone's like,
missed his opportunity to Mr. McMahon himself? And do you think he has the personality to be something like that? Not a carbon copy of Mr. McMahon, but the asshole owner kind of deal.
I don't think he has it in him, and I think he did miss his opportunity, because if he was going to do it, he should have done it during the CM Punk thing. Like, look at what Mr. McMahon did with the Bret Hart thing. Like, he literally turned it around on a dime. Like, the second he had an opportunity to do so, he did. Instead of going, yeah, I screwed. No, Bret screwed Bret. I got rid of him because he didn't want to drop the belt. And screw you if you don't like it. And that was Tony's opportunity. And I think that he's just, I'd say it, man. I think he's just a spoiled brat who
Ooh.
liked wrestling and is playing out his little e-fed fantasy in real life. And I think that's what he's doing. But if he had a real sense of the wrestling business, he would turn himself into a character. If he truly understood wrestling characters, he can go, man, if I get on Ariel Helwani's show and I say, listen, Ariel, there's things I can't talk about because of legal reasons, but let me tell you something. Okay, I loved CM Punk until I started working with him, because that guy's impossible to work with. He's a punk. He hates everybody. He gets into fights. He's this. He's this. He's this. And wow, everyone's like, whoa. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
I have a thing about owners and writers now, like joining the fray, because I think it went overboard with Vince. If you really look at it, like go back to Family Guy, when you take what makes the characters funny for each character, as the seasons go on, they just turn the volume up on that one thing, and suddenly the character doesn't become a rounded character anymore. They just become the meme of their character. And that's what happens with like McMahon, because first you had Vince, then Steph, then Shane, and they kept bringing all the family members in there, and it was just nuts. And Vince Russo, as a writer, never stood in front of the screen once in WWE. Suddenly, he pretends he's God and goes, and he's always on WCW like he's the man. And I don't want to see that shit. And for one, like from what you're saying about Tony, like he'd probably be very bad at it. So why not hire somebody with his infinite bucks to take that role himself? You know, people.
Well, he doesn't have to though. He doesn't have to though, because see, look at Dana White. Dana White doesn't wrestle he doesn't fight in the octagon. You don't really see him during shows all that much, but you see him at press conferences and you see him do interviews. And Tony can take that role. He doesn't have to be on TV all the time. He could just show up once in a while and talk crap.
Remember the Hulkamania era. Anytime you saw Jack Tunney, you knew shit was going to go down.
Exactly.
He had zero power at all. He was just a character. But AEW could have somebody like that where he goes, you know what? After the Punk thing, you guys are lawless. I can't handle this. I'm hiring somebody that will, and bring in a character to do something like that, like to be the bad guy. I think
good idea.
I think that would have worked for AEW, and it would have gotten me interested in it, because right now AEW is all steak and no sizzle. Like,
who do you think they could bring in to do that? If theoretically,
I have no idea. To be honest, like I don't know if it'd be another. I don't think they would take another wrestler seriously like that unless it's like someone like of an Austin level. But I don't think Austin would ever join AEW, and I don't know specifically who in the business could do something like that. But it just have to be a figurehead. Like, who the fuck was Jack Tunney? You know, that guy
he was a promoter from Canada that Vince had bought his territory.
Exactly. He was a nobody, but he looked the part, and he with that authority, he was given that role, and he took the ball and ran with it and did a great job. That's what I think they would need, something like that. Give them that, and I think they could move. Right now, I think one thing I did hear from Tony Khan, I don't know if you told me it or something else I read, where basically maybe he said it during this interview where he goes, guys, like I don't get involved in our matches. I just say, okay, we're gonna do. What are you guys gonna do? All right, go for it, and let's it go. He doesn't like monitor them. He doesn't book their matches or tell them they can't do things here or there, whatever, yada yada. Like at least in the locker room, some of the boys will go, hey, this is what we're gonna do for our finish. Are you guys gonna do the same thing? Oh, you guys are gonna do a ladder suplex spot? Okay, we're gonna scrap that from our match, and they'll coordinate with that. And this one, every guy's out. It seems like they're booking for themselves. They're gonna do their own shit, and what again, it's gonna be a hard sell for me to watch AEW ever. I won't say it's impossible, but they got a steep hill to climb.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, moving on. This may be the most disgusting thing a fan has ever done. This has been trending on socials because this clown goes by the name of Chris Horror, posted a AI doctored video after he had met AJ Lee in an event, and I'm just going to play a bit of the clip here as much as we can stomach. All right, that might get copyright struck, but
Yeah, I know, right?
I love you too, AJ.
Oh God.
Ooh, okay. So I'm going to preface this by saying, okay, I think this guy's trolling. It's obviously because it's still up. If it was like something he did, hey guys, check out this fun moment for me. If he was like a real fan, I don't think he would have. After, look at this, AJ Lee literally had posted on this asking him to delete this video. Where is this? Maybe her response was deleted, or she did a quote tweet on it. But if you guys look at this guy's account right here, pull it down. He thanks Chris Benoit in his profile, okay?
Yeah.
And he's got a bunch of icons and stuff. This guy's not serious, but I do want to open up the conversation about this because the door is open now, so might as well talk about it. So it's no secret that wrestling fans are a diverse bunch. And I mean that in many ways. And a lot of times these guys live vicariously through their heroes that they watch online. But there are some things you do that just crossed the line. And while I think he did this specifically to AJ Lee to get under her skin and get under Punk's skin because they are notorious for telling fans to leave them alone in airports and hotels and stores and stuff like that. And again, if that's how they feel, if you're a real fan, please respect their wishes. But I think this was a dig to get under their skin. But what do you feel like using AI to promote or to change the way a wrestler interaction with you as a fan? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think I feel disgusted about it because what's to stop someone from, taking a picture with you? Maybe it's a friend of yours, and then you generate that into something more grotesque. And now with the wrestlers, like now these are people that are, forced to, not forced to, but they take pictures with fans. Now they're like, shit, do I stop taking pictures now? So that way some kid posts it on the internet with me doing something else. Maybe next time it's not a kiss on the cheek, it's a kiss on the lips or somewhere else. Or um
Oh, they kiss on the lips on this club. You didn't see it all?
I mean, but I mean, like, what if it's like a French kiss? Oh, wow, yeah, wow, unbelievable.
Oh my
Wow.
god. Okay. Yeah, guys, here's the thing. If you really like these wrestlers, these guys are your heroes or whatever, I wouldn't do anything that would make them upset. Because a lot of wrestlers treat their fans like friends. Like when you meet these guys seem larger than life to you, and then when they talk to you, they humanize themselves a bit and they lower their guard with you, and you get a personal connection, which makes you love them even more. Like I'm still there's a lot of stuff I've forgotten over the years, but I have not forgotten my interaction with Rob Van Dam on the airplane in New York once we got off. He was a huge sweetheart. He was talking shop with Midnight on the plane on an overnight flight, even though he should be resting and getting ready for his match. He was reading comic books and doing fun stuff, and generally a wonderful guy. And we have photos with him that we took in the terminal afterwards. And the last thing I'd want to do is doctor that memory in some way, especially for internet points. Now, I might have a slight controversial take on this, and I'm curious about your opinion. I honestly think the worst part about this was that he shared it and he tagged look at this. He was getting people he tagged a Miley Cyrus in this for some reason. He's basically trying to do this to spread the word, to get attention. I think if you're going to do something like that, like let's say you want to put yourself in a match against Bret Hart or CM Punk or something like that, and you want to AI photo yourself like in a gloss, as long as you don't share that online, who's going to stop you, right? Whatever. I don't think that's bad. I think the worst part about it is sharing it to get the attention and doing something, because not only are you trying to get the attention of fans, you are distinctly trying to get the attention of the superstar you were with and show them this butchered memory that you've created together.
And embarrassment. I think that sharing it on the internet is 100% the problem with AI, right? Like with this kind of stuff. Like if he wanted to do that and just keep it on his phone to look at to make himself feel better, more power to you. Like whatever.
No one give a shit. It's by yourself.
Who would know?
There might be guys out there who have got AI stuff like that. Oh, hey, cool. And they might show their friends personally, like, oh, hey, cool, I did this thing. But they're not being like, oh, look what I have. Yeah. And that's the worst part about it. And again, we understand the situation, guys. That's not what this guy did. He's clearly doing it to be a dick and to call out and to draw attention to himself, which is why this shit is still up. But at the end of the day, like, I think he's gotten banned now from all WWE events because of this.
What a dumbass.
Like, was it worth it at the end of the day? Like, honestly.
For what? For one tweet to have 1 million views? Like, really? Like,
and again, he's not going to get paid for these views because it got community noted.
And who the heck is going to want to take a picture with him ever again?
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Like, oh, here comes this dickhead.
Just didn't think it through. Keep that to yourself, man. Keep it on your hard drive or something. Do whatever you want with it. Like it's your.
At least some
Come
of
on.
the replies are pretty in sync. What the hell is wrong with you? Imagine you to do this. Like, again, this is the kind of move someone pulls when the closest they ever get to talking to a woman is confirming their contact details for security purposes.
I mean, he's probably never talked to a woman without having to give his credit card number first.
Yeah. Yeah, again, all these people are, they kind of, I think these are a lot of people who have pretty much, they're reacting in kind, but they've also kind of fallen for it because this is the reaction he wants. Like, good God, how many, yeah, he got ratioed to hell over this. But again, I'm not going to give this guy too much attention because he's not going to get much more at any more WWE events unless he goes to like a Comic-Con or something where they're there. All right, moving on. Speaking of convention incidents, did you hear about this Goldberg situation where he allegedly walked out of an autograph signing?
I did. I heard that he had. I'd heard that he had been booked to sign autographs, and then he was supposed to do another private session, and that he didn't. He didn't fulfill his commitment. That's what I heard, and I've heard his side of the story, which was we said we'd get to it, but we ran out of time or something of that nature.
So the story was, hey, he was going to do a private signing after his main signing, and he walked out. And the guy, the K&S WrestleFest, promoted it. They were doing a private signing. They were charging $80 for it, and he just stopped signing and he walked away. And they got upset. They went on their Facebook and blew Goldberg up. And I'm sure Bret Hart was liking every post.
Yeah, retweeting him.
But the story goes, in actuality, the promoter of the event Goldberg was at was like, look, guys, Goldberg was there. He was signing stuff for 5 hours. The K&S guys asked me afterwards, hey, can we get a private signing event with him afterwards? The promoter said, look, I don't know if we can do it. If Goldberg wants to stay and he has time, we can do it, but there's no guarantees. K&S said, fine. Goldberg did a second private signing for another company, and then as soon as he was done with that, it was K&S WrestleFest turn, and then he walked out. He said, okay, I'm done. And then K&S got pissy. They got mad at him, and they said, oh, boo-hoo, why did Goldberg not sign our stuff? How dare you? Yeah, he walked out. We got to remember, guys, accountability on the internet is growing now. More people are filming stuff. There's more people listening. You can't just talk shit about something and not have the evidence to back it up anymore. So if you're going to call out Goldberg, which a lot of people already don't like Goldberg, so they're waiting to jump on this and say like, oh yeah, Goldberg sucks, he's a mean piece of shit, yeah. But there were 5 hours worth of fans that are around to swear otherwise, to say, no, what are you talking about? Dude, that was fantastic. I love Goldberg. He seems like, I've got footage of him coming in with a big smile, laughing. He's trading barbs with the Big Show who's next to him. It's Goldberg, you know, I would love to meet Goldberg. I think he'd be a fun guy to meet. Like, he was never one of my favorite wrestlers, but he was always fun to watch for me. So if you're going to talk shit about this guy, have the evidence to back it up, because like now K&S WrestleFest looks like whiny bitches. And now who's going to believe them when they talk crap about stuff anyways? They're going to, this is the boy who cried wolf now. You had you took a shot hoping people would be on your side and defend you, and you lost. And where do you go from here?
And it was misleading too, because see, their autograph session was for fans that weren't even there. It was to sign a bunch of stuff that they were going to mail to the customers. Whereas you had people that were there physically who had gotten in their cars and drove all the way out there to see Goldberg, who were told prior. I mean, like I said, it's just a complete miscommunication, mischaracterization of what actually happened. And I've heard nothing but good things about Goldberg when it comes to fan interactions. You've never heard anybody say Goldberg's a dick, not that I've know of. So once again, like they even deleted their Facebook post. So that tells you how much it was worth. They were just trying to stir up some controversy just so they could get some money out of him. Go, hey man, just Venmo us a couple $1,000 and we'll forget all about it or something like that. But once again, like. Uh, you sign autographs for 5 hours for people, you've done your duty.
Yeah, and
That's a long fucking time.
yeah, just to sit there and sign it. You know, I've gone to signings for other things, whatever, and I'd waited in those lines or whatever. And it, while the wait is crucial, you get excited because you're going to meet your guy. I've never been on the other side of that table where you're just sitting there. I can't imagine talking to hundreds of people and trying to fit a genuine interaction with a person to make their day inside of 30 to 40 seconds. Like
If that.
that is so hard. And again, so many people are coming out of this saying that they had a good time. That's, yeah, you shot your shot, KNS WrestleFest, and you blew it. So, good luck next time.
Next time, have your fans show up or something.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. So, yeah, before we hit it to the main event, something I wanted to talk about, the Last Time Is Now tournament, some are saying is kind of petered out. And it's because the quote unquote surprise entrants were a bit of a dud. Now, I will say I was pretty much out of wrestling by the time Zack Ryder was making his mark on it. Like, I had gotten out around 09 and I was still watching maybe the Manias, and I watched Mania in 2010 and 2011, and that was it. I'd seen Mania 2011? Was that WrestleMania 26 with Miz and Cena?
Yeah, that was 27 was Miz and Cena.
27. That was the last one I had watched, period.
You paid for that one?
Well, it was me and Chris, and that was right before I was leaving the state to my new job. So I like watching Matt Cardona online. I've seen him as fan interaction. He seems like a big sweetheart. Why not? They call Matt Cardona the indie god, and he calls himself that. Okay, cool. He's making a name for himself. I don't think. Let's be real, guys. This Last Time Is Now tournament was a fucking Hail Mary throw. This was not planned at all. They were grasping at straws, trying to do something for John on his way out to make it memorable, and they thought of this dumb tournament idea to get somebody over. Anyone who thought they were going to bring in anybody exciting or big named or huge is just wishful thinking. Like, I had heard some names being thrown out, like they were like, what if it's fucking Batista? Like, Edge comes out here. Oh, please let Edge come out here. Chris Jericho. They would not book those names to come out to do something as piddly as this freaking tournament. It wasn't booked like that. Look who else is on the roster. These are all mid-card guys. I think there's like one world champion in amongst the ranks, right? Gunther?
That's it.
That's it. Okay? That's the whole shebang for this tournament. So, in fact, I even called Nick Nemeth coming out as Dolph Ziggler for his match as the second surprise. I knew it. You want to know how I knew it? Because John Cena prophesized this in his pipe bomb that he did against CM Punk earlier this year. He called out Nick Nemeth and Matt Cardona specifically. So I think this tournament was more of Cena's idea, because the rumor is Triple H wanted to turn Saturday night's main event into like a 2-hour farewell tour for John Cena, like a big show to promote him and send him off properly. And Cena goes, no, I want to push talent. I want to do something for the boys to make stars while I'm on my way out. And so he wanted to do this tournament and have that as his final match before he heads out the door. So for him to kind of do that and push that going forward, I think it's fine if that's what Cena wants to do. It was booked terribly. Like, people are already speculating, well, it's going to be LA Knight versus Gunther in the finals because there's no one else logically that could face each other. I don't think LA Knight's gonna go and do it, because here's the rumor. I know I'm getting ahead of ourselves. Do you think LA Knight was kicked out of the War Games match because he took that sign that said we want Knight, not Uso?
I don't know if they're that petty right now. Vince McMahon, definitely yes. But I don't know if Triple H is that petty. I mean, maybe he is, but honestly, with LA Knight, I don't even care anymore.
Who does? Okay, that's the only guy we talk about that our watchers hate. Like they hate, not hate that they hate LA Knight. They hate when we talk shit on him, because that's the only time that we ever get ratioed on our shorts is talking about LA fucking Knight. You big babies. But what do you think about the last time is now, Turney?
I mean, it's better than some of the crap that I thought they would do, just marquee feuds every month. I mean, at least they're kind of making the matches mean something. And that's the one thing about tournaments that it's one thing about wrestling that can actually be real is a tournament, because the match means something. And the person is like, okay, who's he going to face next? Ooh, who's going to face Dolph Ziggler next? This next match determines who's going to face Dolph Ziggler. So that's what makes tournaments kind of exciting. And I think that they obviously called an audible with this tournament, and I think it was the right call now. And it is kind of exciting. When I was watching, Monday Night Raw, I'm like, I was kind of interested to see where they were going to go with it. The match actually mattered to me, and that's why I think it was good.
Okay. Well, I do like following Matt Cardona on socials, and he traded barbs with our boy, the Silent Cross, because we haven't heard shit from him from the IWC since he fucking left to Garbage Can Wrestling. And apparently, Cross came out and asked Matt directly that if he shit his pants after taking that power bomb from LA Knight. And then Matt traded back by saying Cross alleges that he was beating Cena and Rhodes in merch sales, but also claims that Cross wears a wig. I was not a Zack Ryder fan before this, but I am fucking now. Because that's great. I love that.
He literally slapped him down so hard. Curry Cross also alleges he beat Rhodes and Cena at merch. Like he slapped him down and dispelled everything he said in one sentence. It was perfect. I was like, wow. Like, and I'm forced to believe him now because it was that funny.
He had 240 characters, but he didn't need them.
No, he did not.
Wow, he just called this guy, nah, this guy's a fucking liar. And also a bitch. All right. On to our main event. Two huge surprise returns on Raw. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns squared off because last time they did that, almost 10 years ago, they were met with resounding boos and the audience jeers. Now they're getting cheered. And I remember we were talking about this last week and you were saying there's no way Brock's going to be, this is too big of a match for him. I was just as shocked as you were because I knew when CM Punk was going for his little go to sleep motion that they're going to interrupt it with the Vision's next guy. And I was like, Brock's the only one that fits the bill. Who else are they going to get? And I kept hovering around the Randy Orton thing, but were you surprised to hear Brock's music come out?
No, I wasn't surprised.
Oh, bullshit. You were saying he was going to be in this match. Now you're saying you were?
But I wasn't surprised.
Check the tape. Rewind it.
I wasn't surprised, but I was like, not. I thought it was going to be someone else. Like, like how because you just don't know. But the fact that they did throw him in doesn't shock me. I just didn't think they were going to put him in. But now I think they're setting up Roman and Brock probably at the Rumble. Maybe something happens to each of them at the Rumble and then they wrestle each other at WrestleMania as like a marquee, big marquee matchup or something like that. Or just to make the Vision more, just an excuse to put Brock in the Vision and Roman on the other team for War Games.
Yeah, if I was going to put money on this, I'm definitely going to say that Brock would enter last in War Games because you can see him now. I don't know if you guys noticed when he comes in there, he gets gassed pretty quickly. And he's older, got to give him that, but he's still a beast. He still moves pretty well, which, for being his age and that size, that's a tall order to ask. But Roman got a lot of love coming out there. Somebody who wasn't getting love, and I was kind of shocked, Cody Rhodes, because he's no longer on the forefront of the kind of storyline. It's more like even though they're trying to push him because he's the champion, all people are caring about is the Vision versus Roman and this feud that's going on, because Cody Rhodes was really shoehorned into this match, which logically the spot should have been filled by LA Knight, because he's been feuding with the Vision for, weeks on end. Yeah, in a losing capacity, and he could have easily eaten the pin and let the heels go over on this one. But I don't know. Why do you think they put Cody in this? Because he's not doing anything else?
Because he's not doing anything else, but the War Games match gives you an opportunity to set up some kind of storyline. Someone in the Vision on that team is going to face Cody for the belt at the Rumble, and they're going to set it up at War Games. So that's why he's in there. And the reason why he's not at the forefront is because they kind of realize, like, okay, we have Cody as the champion. He's selling merch. He's doing his job. We need to start building other people up. Other people need airtime so they feel important. Because you imagine if these two guys are beating the crap out of everybody, and then one of them ends up facing Cody at the Rumble, they're over as hell. And everyone goes, oh crap, Brock versus Cody at the Rumble for the belt, or Roman versus Cody at the Rumble for the belt. This is going to be huge. Or if it's Breaker or whomever, right? So you kind of take the spotlight off Cody, highlight everybody else, and then they go, okay, here's our big new bad star. He's going after Cody with the belt. It makes perfect sense. It's Wrestling 101.
Do you think somebody on Team Punk and Rhodes is going to turn heel on this? Because I think it's a prime opportunity for Jey Uso to do it, because that was the last time we saw Roman was with him eating a pin from Bronson Reed and complaining to Jimmy and Jay about not people saying to look at him like he's a bitch because he can't do it himself. Because they were there. He told them not to interfere. They came in there. So what if Jay just fed up? He goes, you know what, OTC, I'm done with you. You say you can do it yourself, do it yourself, and then turns and walks away. Because honestly, I know people are complaining that Jimmy Uso's in this match, but somebody's got to eat a pin there, okay?
Yeah, someone's got to take a fall, yeah.
Yeah, and he's prime real estate to do that. Nobody gives a shit about Jimmy Uso. And it's unfortunate we don't have a lot of shit to talk about Jey Uso, because every time we talk about him, he draws numbers for us. But he hasn't been doing anything lately, which is unfortunate. He's been wrestling crappily, but not in any more so than he hasn't been lately. But I don't know. I think for a main event match in Survivor Series, you can't get any bigger, because the Vision's team, again, they've got somebody on there who could gladly eat a pin and not care about it in Logan Paul. But he's the world's greatest dickhead, so he's drawing heat that way. Oh, by the way, did you see that fans were trying to give him shit because he wrote his promo in his hand?
Oh, I didn't even know that happened.
Oh god, let me see if I could find it. But yeah, they were complaining about that, but in reality, he was doing it to troll, because he pulled the hand up like this to kind of show them it was on there. This guy knows fucking social media guys. So he did that because he knew you were going to talk about him. That bitch was trending. He was the #1 most talked about guy on SmackDown because of that moment. And he totally got you. Paul Hand. Let's check that out. See, right there.
Oh, he's doing that on fucking purpose.
You see that?
Really?
Yeah, look at that.
And then he looks down at his hand, right? Like, yeah, he's trolling. He's a freaking troll.
And people are trying to say, "Oh, this guy sucks." He had a rod in his hand. Blah 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 blah. No, he did that on purpose, and you guys fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Which is what, sad to say, a good heel does. And you know what? Maybe him being on the Vision and being on this faction will do some good for him. Maybe he'll, kind of step up a bit and become a proper heel and a proper threat, because he could certainly work in the ring. I can't deny this guy is athletic, and he's pretty fun to watch in the ring. But storyline wise, it's hard to care about him because of who he is in his position. The kind of guy who could just literally step away from WWE and wrestling altogether and just be like, okay, I'm going to do something else right now. It's hard to back somebody who could walk away that easily. Like when, Punk walks away or Rhodes walks away or they leave the company, you wonder if they're going to go somewhere else and do something else in the promotion. When Paul walks away, you know he's never going to look back. He's going to do his own thing and be something else. But overall, guys, next week is going to be the Survivor Series. So before we end the show tonight, I thought it'd be let's do our predictions for the event. So we got, let's see, what's the card for Survivor Series? Let's see here. So, all right, let's go down the list. Okay, we got, God, it's only 4 fucking matches. The first Survivor Series had 4 matches on it, but they were 5-on-5. This thing was a fucking stacked card. They don't even have, like, 30 people in this thing. God, they don't even have, Jesus Christ, they barely have 20.
But look how expensive. This is like the most expensive talent they have, though. So there's, I mean,
all right, let's go first. Vakir versus Bella. What do you think? How do you think that's going down?
Vakir she retains. I mean, Nikki Bella's just there to kind of pad her pension and to kind of fill up her time. She's not a long term. This is a marquee matchup, a very easy marquee feud that they put together just to have a big name to go up against her. She goes over. Vakir retains.
Yeah, Nikki's here to make stars, not to stay one or become one. There's a rumor that her sister was going to come and interfere and give her the belt. Maybe that's what Vakir needs. I mean, I'll throw a Hail Mary and says if that happens, I think that's a good thing. Let Vakir chase for a bit. She never became a chaser to chase the title. She was essentially just handed it in a single match because their champion got pregnant and couldn't work anymore. All right, we did talk about our predictions for Cena versus Dom, and I both think I think Dom gonna walk out of there with the belt. It'd be kind of weird not to. It'd be fun to watch. I'm curious creatively what they're gonna cook up for Dom to get it, because Cena
might be over though. It's in San Diego though, so he might be over with the crowd.
Do you think? Here's the prediction: are we gonna get a boo spot with Cena in San Diego?
Possibly. I mean, it's at Petco, so the place is going to be packed. It's going to be full, and we might, this might be just a one night only. Like, wow, Dom's over.
Okay, all right. Females war game match. Who do you got going over, faces or heels?
I think I'm leaning towards the faces only because of my prediction for the next match.
Yeah.
I think that they're coming in I think the faces are coming in with a lot of steam, like Rhea pulling AJ aside on Raw. It's like, wow, they're just building up this team. But the one person that I think that I really want to see a lot out of is Lash Legend. I think she's fantastic. And I think she's going to be a star. So I hope that they find some way to put her over. Maybe she pins Bliss or someone like that during the match. But I think Rhea's team's going over.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy prediction and call right there. I mean, you've got Kyrie saying there to eat the pin. It's fairly easy to do, and it won't be any skin off their back to do so. Or Nia Jax. I don't think. I think you're exactly right. It'd be fun to see those guys go over, and again, I don't have a lot of real estate invested into this match. I don't. Storyline wise, I'm more invested in Kyrie and Asuka, because that face turn is coming for Kyrie, because she's just been eating crap from Asuka over and over again. I think it's going to happen at the Rumble. One way or another. They've been doing a good job kind of just slow rolling it, which is a fucking lost art these days. And finally, like we talked about, Vision versus Rhodes, Punk Rhodes. What do you think?
I think the heels are going over. And it's only because they're trying to set up some storylines for Rumble, trying to set up once again, the main event for the Rumble, who's fighting Cody, is going over on that night for the heel team.
Yeah. So it's not McIntyre. If I were going to put money on it, I honestly think it'll be Bronson Reed. And I know people are groaning like, oh, Bronson, he's more of the mid-carder. He's the perfect setup guy for this, okay? He has beaten almost everybody. He's gone over LA Knight. He's gone over fucking Roman Reigns. He's beaten him already. So why not put him over? And they did a great job having him lose to Carmelo Hayes without making him look weak. Like he took a count-out loss. Why not?
A great way is to have him like Breaker go over, maybe pin both Usos, maybe find a way to get him to pin Reigns or something like that, and go look at. And the Paul Heyman goes, "Here's your next opponent, Bronson Reed wants your belt at the Rumble, Cody," and yada yada yada, and now you've got yourself a nice little main event for the big pay-per-view for the 2-night show, maybe main event night 1 or something like that.
So then what's Punk gonna do? You think they're gonna put him and Paul over at the Rumble?
They're gonna put. I think they're gonna put Punk in the Royal Rumble match.
He's got the belt.
Oh, never mind. Maybe.
That's how forgettable of a champion Punk is.
I know.
No,
this is daddy brain, right?
Yeah.
No. What if it's Breaker? What if it's Breaker?
That would be interesting.
Brock.
Bronson and Brock and Punk. That would be fun to watch.
They had a hell of a match like 10, 12 years ago.
See, God, I honestly hope Punk drops the belt before Rumble because I want to see him in the Rumble match. He's got to win it.
I don't know. I think that they might keep the belt on him until WrestleMania, so that way they can put him main event night 2, or maybe, just maybe, something might happen at the War Games. Maybe just a minor thing that they build up to, something going on between Cody and Punk, and maybe we get that face versus face night 2 WrestleMania champion versus champion match we've all been dreaming of.
What about your bold prediction? Where's the serial faker Seth Rollins? When's he coming back to throw a wrench in this?
I think it comes back. Crap, I can't. I gotta think about that one.
You said he was faking it.
I said he was faking it, but man, they're waiting. Maybe at the Rumble he comes back. I'm not sure. All I know is that the War Games that they're doing this year isn't like the 2 years ago where like the babyface just went over and then we just bring Punk out to kind of celebrate the night. This time around, Paul Heyman knows this is our golden opportunity to get a heel over, and I think you're right. I think it's Bronson Reed, and I think that he goes against Cody at the Rumble, and then Punk takes on maybe Brock. I don't know, unless they want to just blow their wad and have Roman and Brock go at it at the Rumble instead of have them in the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, I think maybe if we pull the move where Jay betrays and turns on Roman, where maybe Jay and Roman go at it in the Rumble.
I think they've got enough heels right now with the Vision. I think they've got enough heels. They don't need to turn Jay right now.
The fans have already turned Jay heel. Nobody likes this guy. The internet hates him.
Well, I mean, the internet hates him, but that's like 5 guys, 5 incels on 4chan compared to who's at the actual events.
Not according to the thousands and thousands of downvotes on WWE.com videos. Just saying.
Not according to the merch sales.
Yeah, because children buy his products.
If children look how many children bought Cena's products. Every male over the age of 25 hated John Cena, but they still pushed him because 12-year-olds were buying his merch.
All right, gang, that wraps it up for this week's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate the love and feedback. We're going to be back for our review of Survivor Series next week, so stay tuned for that, guys. Other than that, that's all I've got for this week, folks. Signing off. We'll see you after War Games. I'm Dr. Legend, joined with our esteemed Midnight. So long, and we will catch you next week.